We are talking about this area here, very, very important for us, and we are watching it unfold. Ayawaso West Wuogon is the area. Let's go live now to my colleague Manuel Kranting, who is standing by for us with the action, as you can see on our screens. Manuel, there's a lot happening there. Night is falling, and people are getting excited about counting.
Absolutely, Evans. You are so right. Balloting has ended here in the Ayawaso West Wuogon constituency. It's instructive to note that, across some parts of the constituency, polls started quite late. We had some polling stations where you had delays of up to an hour, up to 2 hours, and so on. All of these were eventually, handled by the EC and in dialogue with some of the polling agents who eventually agreed on the modalities to continue the polls. Essentially, these polling stations which had the issues did not have so much numbers, which meant that if everybody even came, they were going to have finished their polls before the 5 p.m. deadline. But in your shots currently, is visuals from the Pill Point polling center. And this particular polling center is where the main contender of the seats, I'm talking about John Seto Dumelo, voted. Well, he cast his ballot somewhere around 10 a.m. today. After he cast the ballot, and I sent that interview that we had with him, he made some scathing allegations as regarding what he called deliberate attempts from the quarters of not only the EC but also the incumbent member of parliament, Madam Lydia Seram Al Hassan, to frustrate the voters within his strongholds. And this particular allegation is with regards to the delay in delivering the polling materials in some of the polling centers that I earlier mentioned. But Evans, Ayawaso West Wuogon constituency is quite critical, and you know why. In the past cycles of elections, the candidate who won on the University of Ghana's campus, which is properly construed as the Legon electoral area, always went ahead to win the polls. This year, the University of Ghana campus and by extension the electoral area, Legon electoral area, has up to 20,000 registered voters, and this has the tendency of tipping the votes in favor of either of the sides. And the watchers have said that whoever, for instance, wins the University of Ghana's campus based on the historical, precedent and so on, then the person was going to go ahead to win the seat. But just like you can see in your shots now, the polls are being counted. About 748 people registered in this particular polling center.
If you can hear me, you make an important point about the Legon, the polling station at Legon, the University of Ghana, right? And about the 20,000 people who have registered to vote just on that campus. And I want to emphasize that because this year, the voter population has increased to 17 million. The Electoral Commission tell us that 2.6 million of those who registered to vote this year are first-time voters between the ages of 18 and 21. Now, that is a huge number. And it's my submission that they will decide the elections. And you're right. In Ayawaso West Wuogon, more than any other place, you will see that play out quite strongly in that particular part of the constituency and Greater Accra because of the huge numbers of young people, first-time voters, in the universities that populate this particular constituency. So University of Ghana is one, University of Professional Studies is one, there are a whole host of other tertiary institutions in there that will definitely make a difference in terms of who wins. And that is why you want to track, for example, how this new voter population, in fact, if you want to stretch it a bit further, 18 and 35, that bracket, more than 50% of the total registered voters this year. That is so critical. And that is why we are watching this area well and quite intently. Which of these two candidates will appeal to this young population in this particular geographic area we are paying attention to here with University of Ghana and all those tertiary institutions at play. And so, of course, Manuel, this is key. And I know you have been interacting in that part of the constituency in University of Ghana. are they themselves appreciating how much of an impact they will have on the outcome? The students, I mean.
Absolutely, Evans, you are correct. And you know, earlier in the morning when I reported from the Mensa Summer Hall, which really is the most populous polling center within the Legon electoral area. It has well over 1,000 registered voters. The Mensa Summer Hall. Well, as of 12 a.m., there were people who had lined up already, just anticipating that big moment when they go to the polls to cast their ballot. Well, it carried through the entire day up until polls eventually closed. And so they are upbeat really about their contribution to the polls. You saw a lot of them, and last night I reported some of them, traveling from far and near to come to the university's campus to be able to cast their ballots today. You remember that at the time that the EC held that all crucial registration exercise, COVID had struck, and the university, as it were, under the directives of His Excellency the President, had been closed down. But that could not stop the students, and by extension, a lot of the other people who make up that, humongous 20,000 people who had registered on the campus to do so. And so they have registered and they have come to cast their ballot. And as the counting goes on, we'll get to see the real, turnout as the day went by. And I'll just go around and show you what is currently going on, maybe to give you a clearer picture of what the EC officials are currently doing. So they've already done the sorting of the ballot papers and currently counting the ballots. And I mentioned earlier, Evans, that this particular polling station is a polling station where you have the main contender for the seat, John Seto Dumelo, voted. And so it is crucial. And people would argue that the turnout, and in fact, the result from this particular polling station will give an indication of his performance across the the constituency. And so generally that's what you have, Evans, over here at the Ayawaso West Wuogon constituency. I'll just try and speak to a few of the people who have come here to watch the ballots get counted and then get their reactions as to how they have come here. Well, good evening. Welcome to your election headquarters. Well, you're here. You voted here, I should believe.
I didn't vote here, but I voted on campus.
You voted on campus. Okay. You're a student in the University of Ghana. Okay, so you came all the way, because we know that the university is closed. You came all the way to come and vote?
Yeah, from the corner of Fame.
From Doon Corner of Fame. Absolutely, and Evans, this is just one of the examples that I was sharing with you earlier. People traveling from far and near to come cast their ballot. But you've been watching the exercise. Take me through what you have observed so far.
So far, I would say so good. Yes, so far so good.